completely had it with the sports media at this point. Angel Reese wants to legalize assault? In what reality? Here's the flagrant foul in question. That is clearly an accident. She's not even looking at Caitlin Clark. She's looking at the ball, trying to swat it out of the air. And the worst part about it, even Caitlin Clark didn't consider it a personal attack.
And then when you get flagrant foul by Angel Reese, what's going through your mind and how do you just stay within yourself to finish the game?
What's going through my mind is I need to make these 2 free throws. That's all I'm thinking about. It's just part of basketball. It is what it is.
Like seriously, Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal player, but her fan base is absolutely trash. They're toxic as fuck. And the sports media is trying to capitalize the animosity that Clark's fans have against pretty much the entire WNBA at this point. Y'all are the reason Caitlin Clark has a target on her back, because you disrespect the league at large. I've been doing MMA and boxing my entire adult life. This is not how people look when they're trying to attack you. Caitlin Clark's fan base needs to cut the crap because they don't actually care about women's sports or women's basketball. Y'all thrown on about classlessness and a lack of sportsmanship. Y'all lack it more than anyone! Just because Angel Reese isn't the reason you are watching the WNBA doesn't mean she's not the reason anyone else is. I personally would have started watching the WNBA back in the late 2000s after Simone Augustus got drafted to the Minnesota Lynx. And much like Caitlin Clark, people were comparing Simone Augustus to Michael Jordan when she got drafted. Y'all want to complain about the WNBA being racist? No, y'all are the racist ones here. Oh my god, she didn't make the U.S. Olympic team because half the committee are gay and black. And you want us to believe that everybody's being racist against her because she's white? Get over it. And please stop typing. I'm usually the guy who calls out false accusations of racism from black people. I'm a white guy from inner city Baton Rouge. I've dealt with it my entire life. Y'all are the ones being racist here. It's obvious. I made this meme within hours after the 2023 championship game because y'all were giving Angel Reese crap for doing the exact same John Cena hand gesture that Caitlin Clark did during the Elite 8 game against Louisville. And the amount of racism I saw in my comment section after making this meme is absolutely ridiculous. And at the time, I didn't even think it was a racial thing. I thought it was just a bunch of Caitlin Clark fans being a bunch of sore losers because they didn't read past the headlines leading up to the 2023 championship game. Boy, was I wrong, and the racism was on full display. And ever since the 2023 national title game, the sports media has been dogging on not only Angel Reese, but the entire LSU Lady Tigers team. The sports media realized after the 2023 championship that there was a lot of animosity against the Lady Tigers. But instead of calling out the toxic behavior, they encouraged it and doubled down on it. For Christ's sakes, the LA Times literally called the LSU Lady Tigers a bunch of dirty debutantes leading up to the game against UCLA. For the record, that's a term that's used to describe 18-year-olds who immediately start doing adult film. Keep in mind, I'm an MRA. I speak for men's issues, and I criticize modern feminism all the time. What I am seeing from the sports media and Caitlin Clark's fan base is blatant misogyny. I don't use that word very often, but I'm calling it as I see it. Y'all are complaining about the abuse Caitlin Clark is facing in the WNBA. Look, I get it, but it's your fault. They can't hurt you, but they can hurt her. If you want to help Caitlin Clark, learn some sportsmanship and some class that you keep preaching about so goddamn much. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal player who deserves a lot of respect, but so is Angel Reese. And y'all are dogging on her for things that Caitlin Clark does all the time. Y'all want everybody to know that Caitlin Clark set the record for the most points over an NCAA career. Fair enough. How about y'all recognize that Angel Reese also holds the NCAA record for the most double-doubles in a single season? Better yet, y'all can acknowledge that Angel Reese has more double-doubles than any rookie in the WNBA. Whether y'all want to acknowledge it or not, Angel Reese should be in the same discussion as Caitlin Clark. She's a much better defensive player overall. Caitlin Clark is a better offensive player and deserves respect and credit for it. But the only rookie out rebounding Angel Reese is Cameron Brinks of the LA Sparks. And overall, Angel Reese is a more well-rounded player than both Caitlin and Cameron. That is why she's leading rookies in the WNBA for double-doubles. She may not be as good as Caitlin Clark on offense, but she does hold her own. She may not be as good as Cameron Brinks on defense, but she does hold her own there as well. Whether y'all want to acknowledge it or not, Angel Reese is in the same league as Caitlin Clark. The fact that y'all are focusing so much on offensive stats is the very reason why nobody but the SEC has been winning national championships for nearly 20 years. Because most of the other Power 5 conferences seem to put all their stats on offense, whereas the SEC seems to be prioritizing defense. Same reason why defensive players almost never win the Heisman Trophy. At the end of the day, even Caitlin Clark thinks the hatred that Angel Reese is getting is unjustified. If you actually care that much about Caitlin Clark, why don't you listen to what she says about Angel Reese instead of dogging on her so much? If Caitlin Clark herself can respect Angel Reese and give her flowers, why can't y'all? Seriously, Clark's fan base are worse than Swifties at this point. Seriously, the root cause of most of the animosity that the WNBA players are showing towards Caitlin Clark is rooted in the way her fan base is treating the rest of the WNBA. If you want it to stop, learn some respect and display some of that sportsmanship y'all always rag on about.